It's hard to believe that 35 years have come and gone since our first service at Trinity Church.
You know, God has done so much in these years. Miracles, literally. I mean, when you consider that we started with almost nothing, no people, no land, no buildings, no mother church supporting us, just a God-given vision in our hearts to plant a church that would become a center for Spirit-filled worship in East Columbia. One of the first challenges we faced was finding a place to meet. The local school district at the time didn't allow churches to use their facilities, and commercial property was astronomical. We finally settled on a conference room in the Days Inn Hotel on Garner's Ferry Road.
10 years ago was our 25th anniversary. We made a video that opened in the very room where we had our first service on October the 11th, 1987. Here's a brief clip that we want you to watch from that video.
Well, here we are. This is where it all began. I'm standing in the conference room of the Days Inn Hotel on Garner's Ferry Road, where we held the very first service of Trinity Church on October 11th, 1987, 25 years ago. I can't tell you how many memories flood my mind as I think back on those wonderful days, and I wish I had time to tell you the whole story. I do want to share a few significant moments in the life of this church today. You know, in a sense, it didn't begin here. It began probably close to a year before that in our hearts. Sandra and I were pastoring in Hampton, South Carolina, and the Lord began to stir us about planting a brand new church in the city of Columbia. So I came to Columbia and spent 3 days here just seeking God about His direction. And on the third day, I was leaving the city. I happened to be driving down the Garner's Ferry Road corridor, and as I crested Hampton Hill, where the Target store is, it seemed that the clouds parted, the sun shone through, and I felt the warmth and glow of God's presence come into that car, and a real sense of assurance that this was the area where God wanted this church to be planted. And so Sandra and I made arrangements to resign our church. We loaded up all of our belongings and our 5-year-old daughter, Amy, and we moved to the city of Columbia. We had talked with our pastor, Reverend Ed Blunt, who is over the Assemblies of God in South Carolina. He gave us his blessing and his full endorsement, and we began to seek God for His specific direction.
As word got out about Trinity Church, we began to hear from people who shared our vision, wonderful people who became pioneers with us, who prayed and worked and sacrificed to help bring this church into being. Many of those early people are now with the Lord, although a few of them are still among us.
After only 2 Sundays, the hotel conference room became unavailable. We had to scramble to find another place to meet. One of our members, Mr. Henry Glock, suggested the Park Lane Seafood House on Leesburg Road and talked to the owner, Mr. David Presley, who graciously welcomed us. But it was quite a trip. I remember coming in early on Sunday mornings and our volunteers moving heavy wooden tables out of the main dining room so we could configure it for a worship service. And the building had previously been a nightclub, so there were no windows in it. The lighting was so dim.
It was so dark.
I had to literally bring a lamp from home so we could see the Bible or my sermon notes or even the hymn book. And of course the atmosphere kind of hung with the smell of frying fish from the night before. But believe it or not, it was a great time, and we actually grew in numbers during those months.
After 6 months, we moved to the Federation Center of the Blind on Kilburn Road, and we worshiped there for the next 3.5 years. The Lord continued to add wonderful people to our ranks.
During that time, we purchased land on Holbrook Drive, and in 1991 began construction of the first phase of our East Columbia campus. Mr. Bill Fletcher, one of our members, served as our general contractor at no charge to the church, and a lot of our people gave their volunteer labor to build the church. Then in 2004, we built our present worship facility that accommodates about 500 people, all made possible through the sacrificial giving of God's people.
God bless that step of faith by bringing more and more people to Trinity. Through the years, literally thousands of people have walked through our doors or have been ministered to or touched through our local outreaches.
He also blessed us with gifted staff pastors who made our load so much lighter and enhanced the quality of ministry we could offer people. In 2009, Pastors Jay and Jennifer Kennedy joined our staff as worship pastors. Since then, their roles have changed and their responsibilities greatly expanded. Today, they're a vital part of the Trinity family.
In 2012, Pastor Jay founded Trinity After School Program, which is an outreach to working single moms in our community. Trinity cares for dozens of children every day, Monday through Friday. They help with homework, math tutoring, Bible stories, and even a hot meal. Several of our after-school families have now made Trinity their church home.
The year 2013 marked a brand new direction for Trinity Church, involving a major step of faith. One day, as I was praying about the future of our church, I saw a vision. I saw what is today our Trinity Church West campus. I saw us sending our senior associate and 40 of our members to launch a new congregation on a campus a mile from the airport in the town of Springdale. I shared the vision with our leaders and our members, and they embraced it, got on board with it, and how God has blessed it. He sent us gifted leaders, Warren and Adele Parker, Brad and Patty Belding, Tim and Yvonne Brown. Then in 2017, Pastor Brian and Jennifer Rhodes joined our staff as our Trinity West campus pastors. They've been serving in that capacity for the last 5 years, and what a blessing they have been to Trinity Church. Because of the faithful leaders and members of Trinity Church West, many people from Lexington County have come to know the Lord and have become a part of the Trinity family. And that's what we are, a family. We're really one family, as we like to say, one church.
One church with two locations.
But the best thing about Trinity Church is not our past, it's our future. Recently, the Lord put it in our hearts to focus on the next generation by planning for pastoral transition. Our congregation elected Pastor Jay and Jennifer Kennedy to serve as the new lead pastors effective this January. Words fail to express our appreciation for all the wonderful people who for 35 years have shared the vision and joined with us to establish and grow this church.
Most of those early pioneers are with the Lord, but their participation in prayers, their love and devotion, their service and sacrifice lives on in newer generations of Trinity Church.
But our biggest debt of gratitude is to the Lord Himself.
Amen.
Thank God for His faithfulness through the years, His provision, His guidance. None of this would be here were it not for Him, and we give Him the praise. And as we face the future, the best is yet to come for Trinity Church. I am persuaded that He is able to keep what we've committed to Him, and the good work that He began here so long ago, He will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ, because it's His idea. Trinity Church is His vision.
Yes.
And Jesus said, I will build my church.
How great a gift to us you shown. Oh, such a great gift. For mercy's sake and not our own. It's of this greatness we attest, for all to hear and to know your righteousness. May your kingdom be proclaimed, Heavenly Father. May your power be displayed as our voices sing. your glory fill this place. May your glory